Oh yeah, this is happening. That sounded better in my head.
Oh, no way, Sonic's in the MCU? The Sonic series has many games that people would call one of their favorite video game experiences. Sonic 3, Sonic Mania, Sonic Adventure, Sonic Generations, Cars 2 the video game. Spot the difference. I consider most of these up there as some of my favorite games of all time, especially you, but there's one Sonic game that I would consider one of my favorite video game experiences that not many people have talked about since its release. It was a 3D, open-ended Sonic game with a unique storyline that felt like a breath of fresh air on release, a combat system new to the series, and many unique ways to traverse familiar locations. That's right, I'm finally discussing Sonic Frontier! Did I jump scare you? Yeah, I bet I did. Coward. You make me sick. LEGO Dimensions Sonic the Hedgehog level pack is one of my favorite Sonic experiences of all time, which it sounds crazy, right? An expansion to a dead Toys to Life game? Please, I've heard more interesting things than Molly McGee Season 2. Spoilers, I actually haven't, that was a lie. Despite my love for it, due to the complexity of LEGO Dimensions and how expensive the Sonic portion of this game is, oh my god. Not many people are aware of the fun that's in store, but that all ends today. I'm going to be revealing what exactly makes the Sonic expansion, or Sonic Dimensions as it's called in-game, so great in my opinion. For us to find out why, we need to go back to where it all began. The year is 2015. The Toys to Life phenomenon has reached its peak. For those too young to remember, which is really weird to think that that's an actual possibility, a Toys to Life game has a mechanic where you have to purchase a toy to gain access to certain things in a game. Disney's Infinity, Skylander, and even a majority of Nintendo games on the Wii U with Amiibo support were thriving in this genre at the time, and LEGO had just released their take on it with LEGO Dimensions. It was a massive crossover with tons of IPs from different companies. That's what set it apart from other games at the time. Infinity and Amiibo may have had many franchises under its belt, but they were mostly under the same company. Mario and Kirby, Phineas and Sully, Jaundice and Leprosy, you know how it is. But with LEGO Dimensions, you want Marty McFly to team up with Homer Simpson? Well, guess what? You have lupus. This gave Dimensions an incredible leap in scope and possibilities, but you're probably wondering, how does Sonic come into play? Well, shut up, I'm getting to it. Sorry, that was aggressive. Around this time, Sonic fans were living in a desert. We had nothing to look forward to, and when we did have something to look forward to, y'all younger fans will not be able to understand the outrage this caused. We lived in what the fans dub Sonic droughts. The month of the franchise's 25th anniversary was rapidly approaching, and we weren't even sure if this Sonic was going to exist in a few months. However, there was hope for at least something decent. In a list of LEGO Dimensions Year 2 franchises set names, one was labeled S. Now, while some people immediately thought this could mean Joseph Stalin was coming, other people came to the conclusion that it could mean Sonic the Hedgehog could be getting his own set in the game. This was further corroborated by a known LEGO leaker who said that Sonic was a lock for the game. LEGO Sonic was already a dream for so many people. Sonic in his world would be perfect for a LEGO set, and having a LEGO Sonic appear in a video game? Dude, it was too great of an idea to pass up. And, just like clockwork, Sonic was revealed and the Sonic series went from being dead to only mostly dead. The next month at the Sonic 25th anniversary party, it'd be revealed that Sonic would be in the second wave that was releasing on November 18th. And modern Sonic fans got the announcement to just give up on hope. I was over the moon at the announcement of this collaboration. A LEGO Sonic game? I hadn't played many LEGO games at the time, but the ones that I did play were pretty fun and well made. And the thought of a fun and well made Sonic game in that time was unheard of. When that November 18th date hit, dude, I felt like it was Christmas morning. Seeing that box felt like I was in a dream that I was about to wake up from. Was that excitement really warranted though? How good is Sonic Dimensions exactly? Well, let me tell you. To start off, when you place Sonic onto the toy pad and start to get a feel for how he plays, you'll immediately notice that it takes a lot of cues from the Sonic Adventure games. Not only is he, bar none, the fastest character in LEGO game history, but he has his homing attack and a dash on one button, and his spin dash on another. However, since this is a LEGO game, he now has a few new combat-oriented moves. His usual standard attacks are ripped right out of Super Smash Bros. And Sonic the Fighters, with a few liberties taken. He has a few new spinning-related abilities depending on the situation he's in, but that's mainly the gist. LEGO games up until recently haven't really had many intense combat systems, so nobody was really expecting a lot of this, but it's really interesting to see what would become somewhat of a prelude to what Sonic Team would be cooking up with Sonic Frontiers, even though somehow that combat system is a bit more automated. Despite Sonic's intense action, however, sacrifices were definitely made. Sonic straight up just broke the game. A lot of players noticed that once Sonic released, Dimensions became a much more buggy experience. This is certainly due to how quick Sonic moves. I'm certain that the near 20-year-old engine had to be heavily modified in order to accommodate for Sonic's high speeds. Even with the obvious setbacks, this is probably the best Sonic has controlled since Sonic Adventure up to that point. The sheer amount of fun that I had goofing around in the land of Ooh Sonic the Hedgehog is something that can only really happen in this game. Having a well-controlling Sonic at this time was a rarity, but seeing it in a LEGO game of all places was such an awesome experience. Well, a playable Sonic isn't the only thing that came with this expansion. It also came with a new campaign for the game called Sonic Dimensions. The story is pretty simple. Dr. Eggman is trying to use a keystone device from the main Dimensions campaign to control every universe in the game. When the device begins to mysteriously glitch, Sonic needs to traverse through locations from his past to find Eggman and get the device out of his hands. Why is this a better story than Sonic Generations? The campaign is also filled with locations and obscure things from previous games. Sonic visits tons of reimagined stages, such as Green Hill Zone, Marble Zone, Labyrinth Zone, with Sonic 4 music. A nickel for every time Sonic 4 music was used in a reimagining of a Sonic 1 stage, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice, right? There are boss fights between all the major Sonic clones at the time, the Mecha Sonic from Sonic 2, who was given the name Robo Sonic in this game to differentiate it from its Sonic 3 counterpart, i.e. the better Mecha Sonic, who you fight right after, and Metal Sonic. There are also small blink-and-you-miss-it callbacks to other Sonic media, such as the many clips from different characters, the Egg Series robots from Sonic Adventure, the infamous Barrel of Doom from Sonic 3, Shadow wielding a friggin' gun, and so many more that if I went through them all, I would be here for hours. Many others have showcased every reference and detail, so I'd suggest going to them to discover them all. As you go through the story, it's revealed that Eggman accidentally unleashed chaos from Sonic Adventure through one of the dimensional gateways from the Keystone. For whatever reason, he tries to fight you at the end of the story, and you have to use all the emeralds that you've collected to take him down as Super Sonic.
Will she be okay?
No, Tails. At the speed she's going, she's gonna die on impact when she reaches the ground. The story in the campaign was kind of weak overall. Most of it was carried by the boatload of callbacks it possessed. There were a lot of questions I had after finishing this, such as, why did Chaos show up to fight us if we already tamed the rage inside him at the end of Sonic Adventure? Why did Eggman need the power of the emeralds to the Keystone? He was able to summon anyone and anything with the press of a button already. What does Sonic mean by, I'll make sure she's okay, if the story just ends after Sonic enters the portal? The story wasn't the greatest, but that's not why most people bought the game. People bought this for a LEGO Sonic game, and nowhere was this more obvious than the adventure field. In LEGO Dimensions, each franchise, whether they got their own campaign or not, gets their own adventure field that any character can run around in, and Sonic was no exception to this rule. This is where Sonic's 25 years worth of games and media at that point were on full display. Where the campaign somewhat lacked in stage uniqueness, the adventure fields go all out. Boom, Chemical Plant. Bam, Aquatic Ruin, Ice Cap, Hidden Palace, Carnival Night, Crazy Gadget, the Master Emerald Altar, Tails' Workshop. It's nuts. I would have preferred a bit more modern representation, but considering they had to fit all of this into a coherent little island, I'm not too bummed about it. Each location has a mission for a character to take part in. Knuckles' is called LEGO Dimensions and Knuckles, and is all about beating up a bunch of badniks trying to steal the Master Emerald. Biggs is called Biggs Big Fishing Adventure 4, and has you searching for Froggy in loads of locations. Shadows is called a Floral Dilemma, and has you planting flowers in Maria's name. And Amy's...
Those guys are always leaving me behind!
All of the little references and callbacks in these missions are really fun to see, and that goes for the entire world as well. The adventure field in itself is filled with tons of references to the series. All the badniks are accurate to their source material, there are little mini-games that call back to previous games, dialogue pieces that are ripped right out of their source material, and specific hidden locations from certain Sonic games. Seeing such love being put into a world for Sonic to run around in like this was such a rare treat at the time. All these references to previous Sonic games may seem a bit obnoxious, especially in hindsight with recent games like Sonic Mania and Sonic Frontiers rubbing it in our face, but this game gets a pass from me. Is it my 2016 Sonic bias? Yes, but hear me out. LEGO games that adapt pre-established IPs are well known for poking fun at the previous works the series are known for, whether it's in a joking matter or a flattering matter. In this case, I'd say it's a combination of the two. There are absolutely jokes made at the series' expense that get a good chuckle out of me, such as Sonic referencing his relationship with Princess Elise and the erasure of Sonic 06 from the timeline.
Last time I met a princess, we I don't quite remember. Never mind.
There are also more sincere jokes, like when Sonic was speaking the lyrics of Sonic R songs, which are peak. Anyone who says otherwise is a liar, liar, pants on fire.
Man, I can really feel the sunshine. It's brightening up my day.
Essentially, LEGO games making references and jokes like this is perfectly normal and not unheard of, but do you know what is unheard of? An actual fun 3D Supersonic, baby! When you complete the story and enter the adventure field for the first time, you gain access to the invincible Supersonic. Activating him could somewhat be a reference to the unused dialogue in Sonic Adventure. In previous Sonic games, you'd activate Sonic by tapping the jump button twice, or in the 3D game's case, it would be a separate button or automatically activated. In this game, you gather 50 rings and press the special action button whilst jumping, which is identical to how it was supposed to be activated in Sonic Adventure.
Gather 50 rings and press the action button while you jump. You'll transform into Supersonic, but watch out for your ring consumption.
If this is the case, I want to shake the hand of whoever programmed this in right now. Supersonic's controls are pretty much just a faster version of regular Sonic, which means it's absolute madness to control. It's crystal clear that this game was not built with Supersonic in mind. He already breaks the Sonic Adventure field, so when you put him in Middle Earth, Supersonic is so much fun, but playing him anything but the Sonic portions of this game is absolute insanity. And that's pretty much it for what Sonic Dimensions has to offer. Like I mentioned before, this is definitely one of my favorite Sonic experiences of all time. Is it better made than something like Sonic Mania? No, probably not. Is it one of the best games ever made? No. Does it offer as much, if not more, content than other Sonic games? Actually, yes, this game is longer than Sonic Forces. But no matter which way it's sliced, this is still an incredibly fun, satisfying, and enthralling experience that, to me, likely won't be replicated by any other Sonic game moving forward. And with LEGO Sonic making a huge comeback with its own sets and LEGO characters in Sonic Superstars, it's safe to say that LEGO Dimensions, despite being cancelled over 5 years ago, started something great in the Sonic series, and its spirit will forever live on in these new experiences. Sonic Dimensions was released during a time that Sonic fans would take literally anything, and the developers went all out giving them what the internal teams couldn't. This game was essentially the 3D equivalent of Sonic Mania, taking well-loved factors from the whole series and mixing them into this package of a miniature LEGO game, which is something that was already a major wish for fans. Are there better Sonic games? Yeah. Does that matter? Absolutely not. No matter how unpolished it is, no matter how short it can be, Sonic Dimensions is, for sure, up there as one of the best things to come out of the 2010s decade for the Sonic series, and I am tired of saying it wasn't. And thus, people of the jury, I plead myself not guilty.
I've seen enough, Mr. Poole. You're sentenced to death.
Wait, no! I still need to talk about what happens when you put Sonic X and